So now that we have run our analysis, we can look at our results and interpret those results. If you want this pane with the results to be larger, you can just click this arrow to hide the options pane. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so this first output is the result of your t-test. So this is the important thing that we want. And the first thing that we're always going to do is look at the p-value. So remember, if the p-value is less than 0.05, that means that we rejected the null hypothesis and accepted the alternative hypothesis. Or in other words, if the p-value is less than 0.05, our hypothesis was supported and there was a difference between the two groups. In this case, the p-value is 0.101, which is greater than 0.05. So we did not reject the null hypothesis. So our hypothesis that invisibility cloaks would lead to more mischievous acts was not supported. So everything else that's in this test output is the t statistic. So this is our test statistic. The degrees of freedom. So this is n minus 1. Remember, we had 24 participants and 12 in each group. So that would be 12 minus 1 and 12 minus 1. So that's 22. And then our p-value, and then our Cohen's d is our effect size. Think of this similarly to the Pearson's R. It's just a way for us to interpret the strength and direction of the effect. This is the information that you'll need for reporting. You will report in APA format all of these values here, and I'll talk about that in the next video. So the next output are our assumption checks. So the first one is normality. This is a little bit counterintuitive. So you actually want, for these two tests, for assumption checks, you want the p-value to be non-significant. So you want the p-value to be greater than 0.05. It's the opposite of what you want for your test. Think of it this way. So significant results suggest a deviation from normality. So we do not want a deviation from normality. We want our data to be normally distributed. So we don't want significant results. In this case, p-values are both greater than 0.05. So we did indeed meet the assumption of normality. So that was good. Our homogeneity of variance test was also not significant. Same thing here, we want this to be not significant. So this was also met. So what this means is that we can't say that the insignificant results of our t-test are attributable to some sort of error in the distribution of our data. So the non-significant result of our t-test is most likely because there really isn't an effect of invisibility cloaks on mischievous acts. And then the last thing down here is our descriptives. So these are our means and standard deviations. And this is what you will also report in APA format. So group is going to be which level or condition they were assigned to. So remember, 0 was the no cloak group. And they committed on average 3.75 mischievous acts, which is less than our cloak group, coded as 1, who committed on average 5 mischievous acts. So this is why we run a t-test, because if we just looked at these means, we might say, yeah, there's a difference between the means. The participants that were given a cloak did commit more mischievous acts, but our p-value is not significant. So the likelihood that this occurred due to chance is more than 5%. So although those that had a cloak did commit on average more mischievous acts, it was not statistically significant. So these differences were not significant. So I'll talk in the next video about how to report that in APA in the results section of your paper.